live. And
Almost like we were Sunday.
oh, we were live Sunday, weren't we?
I know. It's exciting. And I guess we will chit chat about that in a few seconds. Here we go. Yeah, hey.
Hey,
Oh my gosh, it is Talk on Tuesday. Oh my
it's
goodness.
Tuesday. Tuesday.
I know. I'm excited about that. Okay, guys, welcome to Talk
Welcome.
on Tuesdays. Where in the world are my graphics? It's okay.
Just a
Everything is
wonderful,
lost. But anyway, we're gonna do this real quick.
lovely day.
It's a lovely day, and I'm excited about what we got going on. We got Coach Tony coming. He's in the building. He will be in the building eventually. And guys, go ahead and please like and subscribe. We are available on. We're streaming right now to our Facebook group, private group, and then the other fun thing is
Streaming.
that we're on LinkedIn. Hello, everyone over on LinkedIn.
We'll be
And do you know, as of right
streaming.
now, we are on the Pod TV Roku channel. Never miss an episode. And
Pod
of
TV.
course, we celebrate 100 episodes. Yay! 1000. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Big deal. We're excited about that. So, oh
Hands
wow.
up in there. Yeah.
Never miss
Yeah.
an ep. What was that?
Yeah. Never miss an episode. Is that what you about to say?
Yeah, never miss an episode. And if you'd like to be a sponsor or a guest on our Talk on Tuesday platform or on our audio podcast, you go ahead. I'll ask Mr. Springer, and he's saying, "Let's
He's
go,
here.
Val the voice and Mr. Wamble."
Kevin,
Woo!
Kevin, Kevin, Kevin,
Kevin, Kevin,
Kevin,
Kevin,
Kevin,
Kevin,
Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah,
We love Kevin. Oh my gosh,
that's right.
he's a treasure. So
That's that YouTube.
at
See, I seen people on that YouTube. I like that YouTube.
I
They
know, and
help me a lot.
I think this is Tracy. Hey y'all, hey Tracy, how you doing? How you
Hey,
doing, girl? And I think this is Vanessa. Hey,
hello.
girl, how you doing?
Hey, hello, hello. Yeah,
so
buddy.
some some fun things happened with us on when was that? Sunday, right?
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Sunday in
Oh
Alsip. Beautiful Alsip,
yes,
Illinois. South suburbs of Chicago.
I
Riddles.
I know. And Mr. Womble and Val the voice. Oh, okay, there we go. Hey
I know them
Tracy.
people.
I know them.
Hey,
I know them people
Tracy.
too. Hey Daniel,
I
I see you're
recognize them.
here.
Woohoo! Woo! That was
All
good.
right, Bruce, great to see you. Great to see you. But yeah, so it's us. We had a debut of
We
doing some comedy, and I want to
did.
make sure that I go back a little. I love capturing stuff that
Oh,
people are not paying
that
attention
picture.
to.
Oh boy. Okay, yeah.
Right. And we were trained by Jury O'Neill. I've been training since 2020 doing virtual comedy, but virtual is nothing compared to in person, right? Right, Michael?
It's different when it's live, y'all. It's very different.
I know.
Quite.
Okay, wait. Okay, okay. I went too far back. Okay, this is hilarious. So we were at Riddles out in Alsip, Illinois, and
Beautiful Alsip.
beautiful Alsip, which is across the street from one of my favorite places, Cooper's Hawk.
Yeah. Oh,
And what I
wow.
wanted what I want to say is that we got a lot of wonderful support from Michelle
Thank
Gurley.
you.
Thank you. She
Yes.
put the note in the
Thank you.
Riddle's mailbox.
That's right.
Princess and her
Riddle
husband
me that.
Eric. Thank you guys. They came to support, and our college buddy Sandy came. And
Sandy.
this world is so small, Michael.
How small is it?
Is Sandy, she works with schools and high school students. And one of her former students also had his debut and he'd gone through Jury O'Neill's comedy course. Guys, I want to go ahead and welcome to the stage Donald Owens Jr. How you doing, Donald?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
buddy.
Excellent. Thank you guys. Thank you guys, man. Sunday was an
Yay.
event, was it not?
It
So
was.
it was your first time.
It
How did
was.
you feel?
I was scared. Not scared, I was scared. Man, my wife was looking at me like I was crazy the whole day. I did not believe I actually did that. I can't believe I did it. It was just so amazing. Um,
And how did you feel afterwards? After it was over, how did you feel?
um, I was relieved, but I was still a little nervous about my set to see if the people who were there were they really supporting me because of who I am, or did they really, really just enjoy the joke and enjoy the show. So all of the feedback was great. It was amazing. It was good. I was really relieved that it was done. It was over, and pretty much contemplating my next steps. You know, what show am I
I
gonna
can tell you, I had just met you, so I ain't had no reason to front. You were funny,
Oh,
okay?
You
So
were.
I
You
don't have any
were.
prior relationship with you. You funny.
thank you,
So
thank you.
so
I
this
appreciate it.
man, Donald Owens, y'all missed his debut, but in years from now, you can say that you were there at the show at Riddles. Just remember, it was in July 2022. That's when
Yeah,
he started. So
man.
when y'all catch
Me
him at
too.
Chicago Theater or Allstate Arena, wherever it is, or Wintrust or wherever, you'll know. Like, yeah, I saw his first show. It was in Chicago. Yeah, it was in Alsa. Okay, and it was on a
Yeah,
Sunday,
Chicago
and
adjacent.
and
Chicago
he was
adjacent.
great. Yeah,
Mhm.
Chicago
Thank you so
adjacent.
much.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah, no, man, you were great. And the funny, as we talk about that, and we're talking to Donald Owens. You're from Chicago, and you got a deep roots in the city, and you were able to kind of talk about that and talk about your family in a way that kind of brought people in. One of the things that you should know if you're listening and meeting Donald for the first time, you know me, you know Val, so you know Interludes, and the show was what we call a clean comedy show. So in
Mhm.
that way, it's family friendly. People can, everybody was welcome to do that. And I think that, sometimes you see these folks on streaming services and other places, and they tell jokes, but your kid walks by like, where's the mute? Where's the mute? Where's the pause? I gotta pause this. I can't. And
Didn't get
this
into
was
it.
not
Like,
the situation at all. This is
where my
not the
headphones at? Where my
situation at
headphones?
all. So tell us now, in working within, kind of coloring in those lines, did you find it easier in terms of setting up jokes? Did you find it harder?
It was
Knowing
much more
that
difficult.
this is part of the show.
It was much more difficult. I when I started the
Mhm.
course with Jordan, who's my cousin by the way.
Ooh.
Okay.
I had a different path that I wanted to go down. But because of the course, because of the
Because of jury, right?
because of Jordan, right? Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
had to
Okay.
clean up a lot of
She know.
I had to
I
clean
was
up a
saying.
lot
I'll
of
say it when I
things
talk
that I
to her.
did. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I definitely had a joke that I had to run by here where one of the main phrases I have in there is nut juice. Now don't it's clean, but it kind of is on the edge. And she was like, nah, cut it. Don't even go that route. So
Yeah,
I have my
because
jokes.
our our ears don't really have EpiPens, right? So
Right.
we don't know if somebody might be allergic to it, right? To the joke.
Exactly.
And I you know what? Let I want to go ahead and just add and just give a little sample of what Mr. Donald Owens, as he talked about how.
So it's been fun, just seeing the growth. My cousin, this is his first time doing stand-up comedy in front of humans, right? Fantastic job this guy did. Yes, so excited. He went to my comedy school, so if you two would like to be a comedian, talk to me after. All right, I'm not joking, I'm serious.
It tastes amazing. The service was great. You know, the ambiance was amazing. It played out real good, right? So I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna go ahead and write a review. And if you could help a brother out, I'll go ahead and let my mom, Whoopi Goldberg, co-sign it for me. And they'll be like, what? My mom ain't no Whoopi Goldberg. I'm like, yes, she is. You calling me a liar? That's when I pull up my phone. I'll go through my pictures. You see this graduation picture? Whoopi Goldberg. Don't look at me. I'll go through again. My college graduation. See Whoopi Goldberg again. No, don't look at it. Don't look at it. Go through it again. My childbirth. See Whoopi Goldberg. See, that's my mama. What you talking about?
Anyway, I just thought, what did you think about that joke? How did you come to writing that joke? Because I thought that was brilliant. That's a little clip that I used, Donald. How was it?
That's a lifelong joke, a running joke with me and my mother. And I realized that she looked like Whoopi Goldberg after spending a summer watching The View. And I was watching, looking at my mama.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at my mama. I was like, you know what? You guys look just alike.
Take some time to enjoy the view.
I know. Guys, if you have any questions in the chat, go ahead and throw it at us, because all three of us, some of our jokes, we were told no by jury. I'm just going to be honest.
Some of them.
And our too.
And I mean, and now here's my thing. I had this thing against who is this? Jay-Z. So I decided to throw it in my act, and just mainly about the type of music that his wife does. Why thinks it can be a little annoying.
He had an apple bottom jeans. That was Nelly, y'all, okay? That was Nelly. Nelly was an entrepreneur, right? Nelly is like the best thing to come out of St. Louis. After spare ribs. No, I can't front on y'all. Y'all see me? I can't front on y'all. Nelly is the second best thing to come out of St. Louis, right? I can't front on ribs. I love ribs.
But then there was the songs that had strong messages. The ones that united people. I used to love this song, and I still love it. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Yeah. I love that song. Let's get back to the bass song real quick. Let's get back to the bass song. All right, guys. In this song, in a couple of the first verses, she's like, I just fell in love. You know that's a lie, because how long her and Jay-Z been together? That's a lie. Right there. I just quit my job. Okay. Time out. Now, if you have an annoying boss or someone you don't like, don't listen to this Beyonce song and get fired up to quit your job. She's a billionaire, and she's married to who? Jay-Z. And Jay-Z is what? A billionaire. He's so annoyingly rich.
I got that training from jury about how to rap a joke, and she just is brilliant. I got the course that you took, Donald, myself and Michael. We got that one-on-one situation. So hats off to Jury O'Neill and just her brilliance and training us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, I have my hat too.
Hats on to her. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Donald, will you be doing stand-up again?
I definitely will. I actually have a show in August set up that I will be doing. I just sent some of the material to the host. He's going to decide how long it's going to be, since I'm still new. He initially gave me 5 minutes, but then I'll see if I can extend that or not.
Make it longest. And thank you so much, Mr. Springer. He says, hats off to you guys for stepping out on stage and getting some giggles at riddles. Oh gosh, now that's someone who should be on a stand-up stage is Mr. Springer. He is always cracking a corny joke.
Riddles.
I felt that corn all the way from Brooklyn. Thanks, Mr. Springer. Thank you, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that corner is popping.
Oh my gosh. And in real life, Mr. Owens, what do you do?
I'm an educator. I just actually accepted a position as an assistant principal at Barnard Elementary on the south side of Chicago. Thank you. Last 2 years, I was an administrator at the Chicago Ag High School in Mount Greenwood. So, I do it for the kids.
That's right. One of my fellow unicorns. So many of us.
So yeah, man.
Education.
It's a plethora of us. Yeah, we're just all up in there. Yep.
Yeah. We just walk around the city, just give each other head nods. Like, yep, you too. Yep.
Yeah, you too.
You too. Yeah, you doing that? Really? Mm-hmm. Man, between the teachers and the coaches, man, it's rough. It's rough, but it's a labor of love, man.
Well, you know what, Donald, this has been an exciting time because we've done stuff virtually, but Sunday it literally we all got the love and did it live. And I believe who had the longest set on the stage was Mr. Wamble.
Yeah, okay, that's possibly true. Well, the virtual laughs are different than the live laughs. The virtual laughs really kind of feed you. You like, okay, this is fun. I enjoy this. Like, people are listening. Are you listening back to them? You're taking your time. It's like, okay, this is different than virtual. Virtual laughs are not as loud. That's what I
No, they're not. Sometimes you can't hear them, and they're in a chat.
Yeah, because they got the mute on. So you got to turn them. Yeah, it's hard to hear the virtual laughs. I prefer the live laughs. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Donald. Please invite us to your next.
Yeah, let us know when
comedy.
That August show is coming up.
I will, most definitely.
So we can let people know. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It'll be so great. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Donald Owens Jr., give him a round of applause. Woo! First time comedian. That's what's up. Yeah. All right, Mr. Owens.
Jeez. All right. Thank you. So now, Val, we can say that we worked with Donald Owens Jr., on our first live show. So in years to come, there's years to come, there'll be more and more people that will say that they were there. That's how that usually works, right? Like when the Beatles played in their little club in Germany, like everybody saw the Beatles, right? They all saw them that particular night, The Run DMC first got on the microphone. Everybody was there. Everybody gave them love, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I see a question in the chat. Tracy asked me, were you nervous? Yes. Michael can tell you I was. I thought I was going to get booed.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get booed.
Yeah. She thought for some reason, Val the Voice thought she was going to get heckled. So we were working on things that she could say if she got heckled. And they were very, very funny. Thankfully, we didn't have to use any of them. It was a very warm and welcoming crowd there. You know what, Val? I got nervous too because it's in that green room.
Yeah,
it looked like a dentist lobby, and I was like, oh no, am I in the wrong place? Because I haven't seen. Dentist, and I know Mr. Owens Jr. got nervous. Like, are we at the dentist office? It had the mirror in there, it had a sink. I don't know if the water was running, but it looked like it had, because it had a sink. Maybe not.
I think the water was running. I did give it. I think I did give it a good old test. I did give it a test. Yes, I did. I
tested the waters.
I tested the waters.
You did test the waters, and you swam swimmingly. in the Waters of
Yes.
Comedy at Riddles this past Sunday in Alsip. It was great. Hey, good evening. Blessings to you too. All right. Feeling that. I feel
Yeah.
blessed. Absolutely.
So Michael, and now this is I love the education that I get from Michael. He always lets me in on when there is a show that we should be checking out, and
Yeah.
the recommendations always come, and I'm just kind of going, oh, so I did see the very first episode. But I'm going to put this up here. I think is this about right? Oh no, that's you! Yay,
That's me.
Michael!
Yeah, that is me. Oh, I can that's a beautiful picture. I can look at that picture all day long.
And then there's
Wow. There's
me.
Val.
And then Michael took
Hey.
that picture for
Uh,
me. So we'll let you guys know when you're able to see, because we'll make it available to see the full um 15, 20 minute,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever we did.
Sooner
It
than
was
later. Sooner than later. Yes.
but Michael,
Yeah.
so this initially premiered on FX in
Mm-hmm.
June, called The Bear. Now, what can you tell us about The Bear, Michael?
The bear. So here, so good thing. So it says late June. Yeah, it took a second for people to kind of catch on to it that it was there. So it is officially it's through FX, but it's on Hulu. That's where you'll be able to find it, be able to stream
Mm-hmm.
it. It's on Hulu. It is a show set in our hometown of Chicago, and it looks like it's
Woo!
shot largely in Chicago. It's a
Mm-hmm.
show about a chef, and you see him very predominantly there in the picture. Some of you may recognize this actor from another show that was set in Chicago called Shameless, that ran on Showtime for many years.
And I think that's
There,
Jeremy Allen White.
yeah, yeah. So he plays a chef whose family's based out of Chicago. His family has they have an Italian beef spot. Looks like it's supposed to be in River North. If you do know the city, it looks like it's in that area. So his family, his older brother, had this Italian beef shop. So there's some strife between them, brothers, sibling rivalry. They don't really get along. So the older brother keeps the shop there in the city. The younger guy, our lead for this show, heads off, becomes a world class chef, some of the best restaurants in the world, like Napa, California, and some other spots. He returns back to Chicago after the death of his brother, and he comes back to take over the restaurant. But the restaurant isn't really a restaurant. If you know Chicago, you know Italian beef joints. It's Italian beef joint. It's not a world class restaurant. So there's a lot of conflict there. There's great storylines. There are amazing actors. It really captures the heart of the city, and it also captures that kind of frenetic kind of energy that you get in working at a place like a restaurant. There's a lot of tension there. But one of the things I really like about the show is that it seems to be its own representation. It doesn't really adhere to other kinds of formats. It is what it is, and it has this kind of electricity to it. It's got some great actors in it, and it really is Chicago. There's so many things that you guys probably see on TV that either have the name Chicago in it or it's supposed to be set in Chicago, and it doesn't really capture the city. And this show is amazing in the way that it really captures the energy of the city. You see people getting on the L, you see them coming off, you see them in these relationships with the neighborhoods that they enter. Even when they hit the suburbs, when they get on, then they get on like the Kennedy or the Eatons, and they're like off to the suburbs to come back. You can tell the difference. You can tell that kind of spark there. So as I said, what you come to discover is that this family has been going through a lot of changes, and you learn more and more about the brother. And I don't want to mention the brother, but we do see him, and he is a pretty well-known actor that we have talked about here on Interludes Talk on Tuesday, who plays the brother who is gone, who is the reason why the younger character comes back into the show. So that's The Bear. The Bear is now, it's on Hulu. That's where you can stream it. There are 8 episodes to the show. Some kind of breaking news about the show is that it is now available, or it's now been greenlit to have a second season. So one thing, so I'm happy about that. So I am recommending you something that you can stream on Hulu that is going to continue after this 8th episode. So if you watch the first 8, as I did, and you're like, well, what happens next? Something will happen next, okay? I don't know if you guys have ever done that. You've gone onto a show, you start to watch the show, it has a season, and then you find out, like, that's it. There was a wrap. And you're like, what? Is that it? Is that really it? There's no more? What happened? What was going on here? So this is a show that I think you would really like. So that's one thing we wanted to talk about tonight. Something else that we wanted to get into. Let me just kind of pull this up very quickly. Thank you for being with us tonight. One thing I also want to kind of talk about tonight is another show that's on Showtime. It debuted last weekend, and one of the producers of the show is Nas. N-A-S, the letters that spell Nas. So Nas has this wonderful show on called The Supreme Team. The Supreme Team is really awesome. It's this show that is a documentary coming out of Nas's camp, and it's all about this area of New York, the Queens area where Nas comes up. In the first episode, you see LL Cool J. He makes this cameo, and they find this really older picture of LL, and LL is there, and he's talking about what the neighborhood was like with the Supreme Team. If you're somebody that follows hip hop, you probably heard the name Supreme Team in a bunch of lyrics throughout the last couple of decades. Well, this goes into exactly who these gentlemen are, what their contributions were to the city, and also the hip hop culture. So it's a really strong start. They've had now 2 episodes now. The first episode probably distinguishes itself because Nas is interviewing both LL Cool J and Mayor Eric Adams, New York Mayor Eric Adams. They are both in the same show, and they're both talking about their experiences kind of growing up in New York and what this means to them, and how this group of people, this neighborhood, kind of shaped not only New York but also hip hop culture. So it's really great. It's pretty outstanding. One of the things I would like to do is want to transition, make a nice smooth transition. We are not alone. And speaking of educators, speaking of people who work with young people, who help to make things possible, this is the perfect time to bring on the man with the plan. All right, let's bring on Coach Tony. Coach Tony. All right.
Mike,
Here
hey,
we are,
I'm about to
sir.
drop it for you.
You go drop it. Drop it like it's drop it like it's hot. Buddy. Woo!
Woo! Yeah, that's how we drop it, Mike. That's how we come into
That's
town,
what I'm
baby.
talking about. What
Hey, hey, man,
up,
I'm gonna tell you,
sir?
I got
Yeah.
2 shout outs tonight. One to your guest, Mr. David Owens. And Brother David, I'm hoping that you still watch it, because you are talking to the #1 alumni from none other than Bernard Grammar School, 103rd Church Street,
Oh,
Southside, Southtown.
Southside in the
So
house.
congratulations. Congratulations,
Wow.
Mr. Owens. Go ahead and change those lives, those young kids, man, and put them on the right track, man.
Oh man, and Coach Tony, that brother's funny too. He is funny. All right, he took that microphone and commended. Man, I thought I was watching Comic View. I was like, whoa! I remember jokes that
Oh,
you could say without
I wish
having to bleep the censor. This is funny.
I wish I was in the house or get a little blurb of that one, man. You got to give me some a little snippet of that so I can take a look at it.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm sure that's all being prepped and put together right now so that we can send it out so everybody can see what a wonderful evening it was live and direct from Riddles. I know that's a place that you have seen before, Coach Tony. Passed by
Southside.
there. Yep, right up 114th out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So
And
yes,
one more
sir.
shout out. I'm gonna give you a quick pound too, man. I'm glad to see you expand your knowledge on that Supreme team with Nas. One thing you're gonna learn in that episode too, man, he really pulled his brother along. His brother was struggling between trying to be in the streets in the game or trying to help Nas out. And Nas tricked him one day, came back to New York and scooped him up, told him they were gonna go clothes shopping in Atlanta. And his brother was, you know, and the brother was like, I haven't even packed yet. Nas was like, don't worry about packing. We'll just go shopping when we get there. And he had some work on it and stopped by a pizza joint and tried to drop the work
Yeah.
off and make a phone call. And Nas, I had already, outsmarted him, man. So to see that series, man, and see he got kicked to the curb with the Supreme team and how he got a chance to get on.
Don't tell them everything, Coach. Don't tell them
Man,
everything.
they got to
It's
watch it.
good. It's good. I mean, this is not the first time. There have been some other Nas has had some other forays in documentaries and kind of put some stuff together with Mass Appeal. I think that's his company,
Yep.
Mass Appeal. So he's
Yep.
been doing some things for a while now, and he's, Nas was always nice on the mic. He's nice on the mic as an interviewer as well. Some of the questions that he asks and the way he sets this type of storytelling is really interesting. I mean, I'm not from New York. New York's not my spot. Val the Voice was in New York. She was in Brooklyn. But this,
Where
this is a
Brooklyn
slice
at?
of Queens. This is, out of Queensbridge. And it's really interesting how things kind of develop. And you can see why some of these groups, always shout these places and people out. I mean,
Yep.
they really did make a big difference in the life of that city in New York City. I know Val the Voice would agree
And
with
that
that.
that brought
It's
me
a
that
world of its own.
and
Oh,
that brought
yeah.
me
World
to
of
the
its
yard.
own.
That brought me through the yard, man. I got my Kent folks there, man. So Val, I'm 125th and 5th Uptown, baby. So, and still got my family in
Uptown,
Washington
baby.
Heights.
Uptown,
Yeah.
baby.
So, but Brother Bruce Smith, what's happening, baby? What's going on? Glad you checking in tonight. Make sure y'all punch that button and subscribe. Ain't that right, Val? Make sure
Oh,
you subscribe to the
yes.
show. Hey,
There he
hey,
is. Right
hey,
on time.
Hey, Mike, and I'm going to give you one more before we jump into sports. Val, I don't know if you're watching this either. This is a
What's
show on Netflix. It's filmed out of London. It's called You Don't Know Me. Have you checked that out?
Have not checked that out. You don't
I
know
heard.
me. Who I
haven't
don't
got to
know?
it yet. It's on my list, Coach. It's on my
Who don't
list.
I know? Who don't I know? Who don't I know?
It's on my list. It's coming up on the
It's
list.
two young British actors, but it's a situation growing up in either New York, Chicago, even here in the United States now, that you can really see, the situation that goes on, how mistakes occur, and our young brown brothers get scooped up by the PO. And all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
I've heard some good things. It's next. It's next on the list, Coach. It's
get
next
it
on the
done.
list.
Get it done.
Last night, I'm not going to linger too much on this, as most people probably that are interested in know that it's happening right now. But that home run derby, Coach. I ain't gonna speak too much on it because I do like the Nationals. That's my National League team. I love Juan Soto, so I'm glad that happened for him. But ESPN, Coach, they sucked me in on this one. I'm not a Yankees fan. I've never been a Yankees fan.
Here we go. Here we go.
Ever been a Yankees fan. But that
Me,
Captain, that first episode of Captain, the Captain
man,
on ESPN, I will probably walk away from this series with a newfound respect for Derek Jeter.
Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
I never
Oh,
disliked him.
yay.
I never disliked him, but I never really actively liked him. You know what I mean? Of
Right.
all the Yankees, he was the one that I liked. I didn't actively dislike. It's like, Alex, no. Alex,
Yeah.
no. A bunch of them, no. When Clemens kept bouncing back and forth from Boston to New York, I'm like, that just shows you just the kind of person he is. You
Right.
would never want to do that, you know. But
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's one of the ironically, I didn't even know who I was meeting. The first couple of days I was in New York and about to move there, I went to a Yankees game and caught a ball. And so we met the Yankees backstage and I met him and didn't know Roger Clemens. I didn't know who he was.
you met
And
who?
Roger Clemens
So,
and
Mike,
Oh, you should have
Derek
told me you're a
Jeter.
White Sox fan.
hey,
I didn't
Mike,
know. I'm like,
hey, I'm,
I didn't
I'm,
know.
I'm gonna give you a throwback. So
What you got?
it's Sox in Houston. I'm back
Mhm.
at the house in Chicago.
Yes,
Happen to have a
yes.
meeting. I'm
Yep.
downtown. I'm downtown, right next to the
Uh-huh.
water tower. I'm at the Western Hotel. Coming out, Clemens jumps on the elevator with me. Right,
Okay.
my guy who worked with me at the time didn't even recognize him. I said, "This Roger Clemens," and he was like, "Are you sure it's me?" And we were laughing and joking. Anyway, we go downstairs in the hotel, and this is like early cell phones, right? We're not talking about good pictures, you know. And he chills out, takes a cool picture with us, and then I had no paraphernalia on, no, because we was in a business meet. He was like,
Yeah.
"I tell you what, you guys want to come to the game?" Gave us the game 4 tickets to the Astros Sox in United Cellular, man.
All
So
right. All right.
I
So
had a lot of respect for Clemens because he
okay.
didn't
All
have to
right.
do that.
I'll be nice about him too. Not coach.
Yeah.
I gotta be nice about him too. It's
Well, you
bad
see
enough
what
I
you
gotta
see. You
like
see,
respect Jeter now. I don't.
well, it's okay.
Uh.
Well, this is what Mark Lee is saying in the chat. He's like, not the Yankees, go Brewers.
Oh, cool.
No, Mr. Lee, you cannot be the
Lee.
champion of lost causes like that.
Oh,
That's a
hey,
lost cause, son. You gotta
hey,
leave that
Mark.
alone.
I give you that Brewers though, Mike. I give you that, Mark, because we stick it on. No, good guys wear black, baby. So as long as Milwaukee win over there, they still got to come through the side, man, to win if they're gonna do anything
Nah,
this year.
And
no.
and
Okay, I
and
like
Bruce
this. Yeah, go ahead.
Bruce said that he watched the first episode of Captain, and he's not a Yankees fan either by any stretch of the imagination. But he said it was a pretty good
It was
episode.
very good. So
It was.
obviously ESPN is trying to they're trying to capture what they got lightning in the bottle with the Last Dance. Obviously, they're
So
trying to.
Last
They did
Dance
the
was
last
really great.
right, and the last thing they did was on Tom Brady, which he has as much personality as a piece of wet toast. So that was really hard.
Oh.
But Derek
Shots
Jeter's
fired.
life,
Shots fired. Shots
Derek
fired.
Jeter's
Wow.
life,
booyah, booyah, booyah.
Derek Jeter's life is the stuff of movies. It's the stuff of fairy tales, and I mean in a positive way. It's like
Okay.
his life is amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
from his parents, finding each other to kind of growing up in the Midwest, but then going through the kind of personal adversity and things that the three of us know. I don't think of Derek Jeter that way. That Derek Jeter knew that too.
yeah.
Derek Jeter has a African American father, has a mother who is white,
Hmm.
and coming out of that experience as a child, as a biracial child in a place like Michigan and Kalamazoo, it's like there's that Midwestern racism, and they addressed that in the first episode of The Captain, and it's
Right.
like I felt that, Coach. Coach, I
Yeah.
felt that because people like to always talk about the South, and I've lived, pretty far south. They like to talk about, other parts of the country. We know Boston is like, one of the most racist places in the world. But the Midwest has this way of sort of, I'm not gonna say anything bad. I'm just gonna look at you a little bit different. I'm gonna
Right.
treat you a little bit differently. And the way Jeter talks about, always at an early age having people look at him and just coming to New York, and now as getting to the place where he is as a Hall of Famer, he's always had people looking at him. Probably not for the right reasons or good reasons, but it gave me a lot of respect. And this documentary is co-produced by Spike Lee, so it's
Right,
ESPN and
right,
Spike Lee.
right. And
Yeah,
you know
well,
who this reminds me of, though, Mike?
What's
And
that?
when I thought the Colin Kaepernick story, black
I was
father,
thinking that. I was
white
thinking
mother.
that.
Only
Yeah.
difference was he comes out of Compton, right?
Right.
Coming
Yeah,
out of
well,
LA.
yeah, Central California. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. And
Yeah,
and, and the race
mhm.
and the racism he had to experience, and then get back up to
Ooh.
he then finally makes it to the bigs, and then what happens? He gets dropped like a bomb at Hiroshima.
Well, Coach, in terms of the smoothest transitions in the world, you mentioned Cap and the fact that the NFL wants to have nothing to do with Cap. We are sort of drifting closer to NFL. The NFL seems to take over and eat every other sports season. NFL preseason, NFL shifts. Coach, we haven't, and if y'all watching this, Coach and I, we haven't talked about this previously, so I have no idea what he's about to say. I'm still going to step out on a limb and ask this question, though. You mentioned Cap. You mentioned Colin Kaepernick. NFL wants to have nothing to do with him because he wanted to drop to a knee when they did the anthem. That was his big sin. That's the big horrible thing he did. However, in Cleveland, you have a quarterback coming in who just recently had to wrap up, what was that, 22 different allegations that get
27.
wrapped up?
27.
What's that?
27.
That's too many.
27 different allegations. So 27 different women saying that this gentleman wanted and brought them in for a massage, and he needed a happy ending, or he needed to have something extra happen
Right.
that was not on the massage menu. There
Hey,
was not supposed
I
to be.
he's like, I need my tea and my coffee too, right?
Now, but the NFL coach, he's gonna play this year. As far as I
That,
know, unless something happens that I don't know about, he's scheduled to play.
you
So
know,
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
So you can do that 27 times as long as you pay everybody off, but drop to your knee during the anthem. Oh no. Oh,
And let's rewind.
can't
Let's
condone
rewind one
that.
thing. I don't know if you know or not, and Val, maybe I don't know if you know either. Going back to Kaepernick, we'll get back to Watson in 2 seconds. Do you know that Colin really never kneeled because he wanted to? What happened was the first time that he wanted to do that and sit down in disrespect for the police, he sat on a bench, and there was a veteran in the stadium that says, if you really want respect, then as a military man, you kneel. And that's why he moved from that bench sitting to kneel, and he didn't expect it to blow up the way that he did. Now you get a guy like Watson who can't kneel, right? And one woman is too many, right? One is too many.
One is too many. I love it, Coach. Yeah, absolutely.
But 27, that's ridiculous. And you can't give a gentleman a quarterback job who simply said, enough is enough because our young black and brown brothers are getting taken away because of too much police brutality.
Right.
But yet still, I'm going to give you a brand new contract and move you to a new football team, even though these 27 women got these allegations. And by the way, we know you done paid off 15 of them under the table. You still got 12 to go. Now, I don't know about you, Mike, but I got a beautiful young daughter, you know,
Thank you.
and I'm a women's basketball coach for
That's
decades.
right.
So when I see this, man, it makes me go nuts for the simple fact that you are an NFL guy and you have camps every year. So what are you telling these kids at your camps, right? What are you telling these high school guys, you know, in your pro debuts? What are you coming on? Because these guys obviously are looking up to you and wanting to be like you one day. And so then the next kid that comes up and does something foul to a young lady, say, well, you didn't do nothing to Deshaun Watson. Why are you holding the guilty against me? I'm just trying to be like him.
Right. What's the standard, right? Now
Exactly.
Bruce has something he's mentioning, and I want to address this because this is a good thing to mention. So, and we've heard this too, that, this talk, to me, I learned over the last couple of weeks between the NFL and the congressional hearings, unless somebody actually says it on the record, unless they under oath subpoena to say it, and they just say they're going to do something, I don't trust it until I actually see it. But yes, I have heard that the NFL is likely wants to suspend them either 8 games, if not the whole season. But Bruce, here's the thing, Bruce, because I heard this as well. NFLPA ain't gonna stand for that. NFLPA has already sent out its signal, and so have the Cleveland Browns, that if the NFL attempts to do that, they will file legal action against the NFL. And that will put it into court. And all you got to do is put it into court, where you give it a court date that comes after the start of the season, and he plays.
Yep.
That's how that works.
That's exactly how that's going to work. And it's going to move to the point where, obviously, because it's a court date, so he probably won't show, the lawyers show up and get a contingency to move it to a new court date.
Right,
by the time that finishes, we're sitting in late December, January. We're in the late playoffs, going to the playoff, make a break, So again,
here in Chicago, just as an example, we have an alderman. We're famous for our crooked politicians. We have an alderman that got indicted. He got indicted for allegedly doing something. Now, he happens to also be a lawyer, and he's made motions. He's done some things. They've done some stuff. Coach, they indicted him 4 years ago. He has yet to step into a court to begin his legal process. So you think Deshaun Watson's lawyers can't stretch it out a little bit just to make sure he gets in as much money as the Cleveland Browns are paying him? He is now the highest paid player in the NFL. You think he's not going to play?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think, and let me jump in on this now. I want to thank Kevin for putting the article in the chat. It's up to 30 women, and they have these claims against Deshaun. And my thing is that this sets a horrible precedence for NFL potential players that would come into the league, and just like you said earlier, that have people looking up to Deshaun as a role model. I remember, was it from the NBA who now commentates? I can't think of his name right now. He played for the Phoenix Suns. Charles Barkley. He said very famously, "I'm not a role model, and I don't want to be." And when things are like this, and it's so blatant, please pay attention to the women who love sports. Please pay attention. And if we're saying that this happened, don't do. And I think they said 15 of the 30, many have been settled, and it's been and it's very confidential at this point. But
they can't talk about it.
They can't talk about it. So it hurts, because you're saying that on one side, we're just going to get rid of a quarterback because he's disrespecting and being disrespectful for kneeling or sitting out or during the national anthem. And you have this young man who needs counseling. He honestly needs counseling. He needs help. He does not need to have another contract or whatever. We need to sit this child down and go get him some counseling, because he can end up like R. Kelly. And I'm gonna leave it.
Right. But you said the magic thing. The difference between the two of them is Barkley was saying, "I'm not a role model." He was talking about gambling, right? That I can spend my money where I want to spend my money.
Yes.
Correct. Barkley wasn't out there doing not that he wasn't, but he wasn't out there blatant like this in the news. But having said that, let's keep on a good note, Mike. And the reason why I want to do this is because Val and I talked about it earlier today. We got to give up to none other than our beloved Chicago Sky. They balling, man. Oh, my goodness. And on July 26th, everybody that's listening, you don't know, is closest in the Chicago area. They got a game called the Commissioner's Cup that will be in Chicago. and it will be the Sky playing. So that's going to be a great game. And as much as I love my boy, your boy, Steph Curry, like Val just had the picture, Allie Quigley wins her fourth WNBA three-point shooting contest, the only person, male or female, to do it 4 times in a row, Mike.
Four
Amazing.
times. And
Hey,
keep it going for the Chicago Sky.
like we say in the hood, 4.
Yeah, F-O. And keeping it going for the Chicago Sky, coach. They're probably gonna pick up an ESPY tomorrow night. I think they got a good shot.
Oh yeah.
The ESPYs tomorrow night, ESPN's annual sports awards, and the Chicago Sky and their players are up for 3 awards. You got for team, you got one, I believe, for the coach. He's nominated, as well as Candace Parker for best female basketball player. So I think she got a good shot.
She got a great shot. I mean, but look at the list. You got Courtney Vandersloot. She was just named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week in late June. You got Candace coming back off of a good situation. And then you also got my boy, which is nothing but a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated, Brother James Wade. Appreciate you, my man. Coach of the month. And I think he should get that trophy. And
Coach
what people don't know, the Sky is the number 1 in the entire WNBA. Right now, they own a 9-1 last 10 game streak. They've only lost 1 in the last 10 games.
And they're up for best team. They're up for best team tomorrow. So that's not the best WNBA team. They're up for best team. And I think they got a good shot. They got
a great shot on that, and I can't wait. And I'm hoping this, while I'm in town this weekend, I'd love to get out and take a look at some of this. And while we're still on the women's side of the house, I want to ask you a question. And Bruce and Mark and you guys on Look Alive, did you guys see the World Games this weekend and see the Jamaican women team put it down 1-2-3 on the 100? Oh my goodness!
Yeah, they did.
Oh my goodness! And you talking about floating on air, man? I'm talking about Shelly Ann Fraser, man. She from Jamaica. Mike, she ran a 10-6 100, man.
And she's not a new runner. She's been out.
No.
She's been
35 years old. She's
Absolutely.
35 years old and putting on these 19, 20-year-olds, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm so old. I remember a time when the American women had sprinters. They could actually crack into that Jamaica's got it on lock.
Yeah, she tied FloJo's record, and you got to give it up to Melissa Johnson, USA, youngest female 100 runner in the event. And then, Jamaica, they swept the event on the women's side, but on the men's side, our men took care of business as well. On the men's side, they went 1-2-3 on the men's side with Fred Carley, Marvin Bracey, and Trayvon Brownlee, man. So them boys was there. And Fred put up a 9.8 on the men for 100. So just think about what she did. She was 1 second off of Fred on the women for the same distance, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the sprinters are amazing. They are really some the ability. I mean, there used to be this gap. I mean, and I love that this gap is kind of narrowing, where people look at events like track and field and only kind of paid attention during an Olympic year. But some of these are amazing athletes, and they're doing this kind of like week in and week out. They don't just pop up every 4 years. They don't just pop up every 4 years. Yeah.
They got to go out there. They got to go out there and get sponsorship, like Fred Curley, like Marcus just saying. Curley, this is his 5th title, and these guys got to go out and get like Konica or Minolta or Canon or Google to sponsor them to make their living. Where the basketball and the football guys, they walking into major contracts, man.
They are, but Coach, I do like one of the events, and I know I don't know if they still do this particular one, but I know there is a diamond round in track and field. I'll never forget seeing and it speaks to what you're saying. How little we think of some of these things in America, but in other parts of the world, they just love it. There was a track and field event I remember seeing on one of the stations many years ago, and it was called like the Golden, the Golden whatever it was, track and meet. Coach, when they won, the winners, they gave them gold bars. They gave them bars of gold for winning
Real
their
gold? Real gold?
yes, Val the
Oh,
Voice
that's
Johnson.
sweet.
And I'm
That's
like,
nice.
you know what? If that's what we getting, I'll line up.
Right, right,
I don't look like I'm that fast, but buddy,
right, right. Yeah. Hey,
you'll
hey,
be
you remember
surprised.
you remember the episode? You remember the episode that Martin and Tommy and Cole got beat up on by Lisa Lester, and he pulled an injury. Hey, I'm gonna pull an injury. Time about to jump out. Oh, you know.
Oh, woo, boy,
Tell
man!
him,
If we running for gold bars, time me, cause I'm about to hit a record, buddy.
hey, hey. But you know the funny part about it is, Mike. What I like about it, man, is you got to give up to NBC. I think that the World Games been supported by NBC now going on 30, 40 years, and
Okay.
they do a great job of doing this stuff. And we're now, and I tell you, and I'm gonna tell you something huge before we transition here on the backside. Have you noticed, you and Val, watching the floor gymnastic, that our young African American girls have now taken over that sport?
Oh yeah,
Dude,
UCLA, USC,
Alabama, Ole Miss,
yes,
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 Tennessee.
absolutely.
These girls. I mean, they are. I mean, they gorgeous, and they doing their thing, man.
Because it's dancing, coach. It's dancing. I mean, really, whoever thought that we weren't gonna move into this area, and once we did, that we weren't gonna take it over. I mean, they were mistaken. It's
Right,
called floor dancing.
right,
Hello. I mean,
right.
outside of square dancing, I think we got everything on lock, right?
You said outside of square dance, right?
Yeah. Bring your
Texas,
partner round and round.
right, Texas two step,
Maybe.
two step, two step, two
I
step.
didn't say Texas two step. I've been in Texas. I know we got that too. You just don't
Right.
see us on TV. That's all.
So, coach, what can we expect to hear from you on next week?
Well, Mike and the guys, hey, Mark and Bruce and these guys out here, McCoy, Mr. Kevin Springer, I want you guys next week to get these numbers through the roof. I'm working with Val today. I'm working on a major, major sports surprise, either on the women's side of the house or on the men's side of the house, that you guys are going to absolutely love. And I'll be working with, Val and Mike we're going to try to bring the guests on a little extended time to give them an opportunity to really talk. And this is a huge opportunity. So hey, as they say, Mike, don't meet me there, but
Beat
be
me
me
there.
there. Right.
Oh my gosh, there he is, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Tony. Woo!
Woohoo.
All right,
All
we'll
right.
see you next week. Keep
Hey,
it keep it popping.
and the words of my man Martin, you know my words. And I'm out.
And I'm out.
Oh, that's been good. It's been good. Good. I know I'm good. Anything else I want to say, I need to say, I can always say it tomorrow. Because tomorrow is Wednesday.
I know. I've got to bring it up now. Let me bring it up. So,
No,
what will you
because I
be
set
talking
it up. I
about?
set the cue up.
You did. You set me up real nice, and I'm sitting up here like, where is it?
It's just like, where is it? No, yeah,
Yes.
tomorrow, WW. So, we're going to get into some of the things that we didn't mention. I know that Val the Voice, you heard us talking about the comedy show. So, I want to talk a little bit about comedy and the state of comedy, where things are today and where they could be. So, we'll do that. That'll set up because comedy is one of the things that you can do when you get out, when you go out, and that should take us into the podcast. Yes,
Exactly. And then
dropping tomorrow.
tomorrow we will be dropping our podcast, and we will be recommending some of the great things that will be out there via
The
festivals.
festivals.
I love the
Yes.
festivals and who's performing and Lollapalooza and
Yeah, and I
other
got some
musical.
insight that you probably won't find anywhere else. So check it
Right,
out.
exactly. And I think we haven't done it yet, but I would like to go check out the Prince exposition that is in downtown Chicago. So I definitely would love to check that out. Never miss an episode of Interludes Extra. We're here every Tuesday at 8 Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to become a sponsor with Interludes and Interludes Extra, please go ahead and hit us up on our link tree /Pure Light Media, and you can book time with us, and also to become a guest, do the same thing. And thank you so very much, Mr. Springer, for that information. And Michael, what's your name again?
My name is not Val the Voice Johnson, but yours is. And this has been Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesday with Val the Voice Johnson.
Oh my gosh, thank you so very much. And Bruce and Mr. Springer and Mark, you guys, everyone, thank you all for joining us. We are out of the building and we're about to go.
Peace.
Peace. Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is.